how's it going? Welcome back to Filara Spirit and welcome to another episode of Manifestation 101. If you are new here, hey, I'm Topher, how's it going? Welcome to the club, welcome to the fam. If you are a returning subscriber, as always, thank you so much for being here, thank you so much for joining me, etc, etc. So, we are going to be moving on today to the next tool in your manifestation toolbox. Right, your next practical tool, which is scripting. So in the first episode, we were talking about visualization. You had a visualization meditation as well. If you haven't watched that video, I will link the whole playlist down below in the description, and I'm going to pop it up here in the top corner as well. What is scripting, first of all? I mean, it's as simple as it sounds. A script is the act of writing something out, right? You're writing something down. You are specifically using writing to clarify and to attract your desires. Now, there's a lot more that goes into it, and there's a lot more that's sort of being applied at a psychological level here too, which we're going to go into, but that's kind of like the base meaning of it. It's literally just writing things down, essentially. Now, sometimes we can do this with affirmations, sometimes we can do this with, just writing out our intention, but since this is my channel, and this is me teaching my ways, the one thing I love to do when it comes to scripting is writing letters. It's essentially writing a letter to the universe. That's the one that I found the most helpful for me, but it's also the one that I found that I had the most fun with, that I was feeling the most whilst I was doing it, as opposed to just writing down what came out in my reading or just writing down some intentions while I'm doing my moon rituals and stuff. That was kind of like, I could see how they were sort of byproducts. I wasn't really feeling it, I was just doing it. When it comes to manifestation and attraction, that's what's so important, is being able to get physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually in alignment with the thing. And if I wasn't feeling it and I'm just writing it down, then I am doing something on a psychological level, but it's not really working emotionally. I'm not getting into that energetic space, right? So this is why I like writing letters, because writing for me is something that I can be incredibly descriptive with. I've been writing since I was single digit aged, and as I got older I started writing stories and fan fictions for my friends at school. As I got older again, I realized that I don't really want to just write fan fictions, I want to write my own original. I created the World of Filara. That was what the first book was called, Filara Book 1, and whatever the subtitle was going to be. So writing has always been this hugely expressive and emotional experience for me, and I'm like, okay, so let's bring this together. What if I write a letter? And something that I will be looking into in the near future is also writing a story. Right? What if I took a couple of pages of a couple of pieces of paper, got my pen out, and wrote like I used to write when I used to love doing it for my friends and for myself back then? What if I used that to manifest? So that's something we're going to sort of test out. I'm not entirely sure how it's going to work. I'm going to kind of make it up as I go along and figure it out. But this one right now is going to be talking about something I've tried, that has worked, that is pretty much out there in the public forum already when it comes to manifestation techniques, which is writing the letter. So what is scripting? Scripting is the act of writing your desires, your manifestation, what you wish to attract, as if it's already happened. We're going to break this down a little bit when it comes to actually the act of writing the letter, but this is the way that we can look at it, like for things that have already happened, things that we're grateful for, things that we appreciate. And what it does is it helps you to connect and to get into the space of the emotions and the mindset that you would be in had those things happened, which is what manifestation / attraction is all about. Attraction is bringing something from out to the in. So for example, I want to attract money or love, something directed towards me, as opposed to manifestation, where I want to take something that is inside of me, an idea, an inspiration, an intuition, and I want to bring it out into the open, right? So attraction is bringing money towards me, as opposed to manifestation, where I want to create money through something that I am doing. Yeah, now all of it goes around, we're doing all of these things all at the same time, etc, etc. Cat. And with scripting is more of an attraction. Same with visualization. Both of these right now are more about attraction than they are manifestation. That's going to come at a later point and stuff. And we've already been talking a lot about the underlying root foundation of what manifestation is. Excuse me, do you mind? Sorry, guys. So scripting is a bit more about attraction than it is manifestation. I'm getting into the energetic, emotional, and all of the other vibrational alignment with something that I'm trying to pull towards me. Now, when you're scripting, when you actually write the letter, you can be writing the letter. I have an example here, I'll read it out later. But you can write the letter about things that you're manifesting, but the act of scripting itself, in that moment, that's more about attracting. The act of scripting is attracting, but what you write about in that letter whilst you're scripting can be also about things that you're manifesting, your career, and things that you are actually working on, of course. So again, like I said, we're using all of these things in tandem. There are different kinds, we're bringing stuff in, we're creating stuff out, if that makes sense, you know what I'm trying to say, right? And it's this eternal, infinite flow. It's not about just things coming in and staying in here. It's not about just getting something out and it's staying out there. Things are not moving towards you, they're moving through you. Things are not leaving you, they're moving through you. Now, I want to just quickly talk about the psychological effects of scripting. And I think this is why scripting works well for me, because you might be a person like me, for example, where I will write a shopping list in order to go to the shops, and I won't take it to the shop because the mere act of writing the list is what causes me to remember. Even if I write the list, I fold up that post-it note and put it in my pocket, I still won't refer to it because I'll forget about it, because it's the act of writing it down that causes me to remember. It's not actually having the list. Whenever I study something, if I'm studying a language or a philosophy or some new self-improvement, if I'm learning something about astrophysics or astrology, I just love learning about everything. And the act of writing it down, sometimes maybe in different colors or sometimes in a box or whatever, that's what causes me to remember. I never really need to necessarily consult my notes again, but that's not necessarily the case. If I was to just pick up somebody else's notes and open it and read it, that wouldn't count. Because I didn't write it. So I can look at their page and I can sort of read and sort of take in information, but I will remember far less than if I had written those notes myself, than if I had written that shopping list myself, right? And I know that there's a lot of people out there who are kind of like this, where it's like the writing of it causes me to take some kind of mental snapshot. And this is why scripting can help. Scripting can help, number one, because the act of writing it down physically expresses to your brain that this is information worth remembering. Then if you're getting into the emotional space or the intentional space of this is something important that I want to pay attention to, that I want to settle in my mind as a reality and stuff, you're sort of heading in the right direction, right? Brain, heart, soul, and body, right? Your soul already wants the thing because that is never changing. That never wants anything different than what your desires and your purpose are, whatever that is for you personally. But your brain needs time to catch up. And if your brain is the one that's coming up with the words to write down in the script, if you are feeling it in your heart, I have the intention of meaning every single word that I write down, and your hand, the physicality of your body, is taking part in the process. Do you see how we're like getting all of these things lined up? And what that does is demonstrate to your conscious, your unconscious, and your subconscious, like all the levels of your brain, this is information worth taking in. This is noteworthy information. And that's what reprogramming the brain is. It's giving it new suggestions, giving it new focus, giving it new information, giving it new perspective, constantly, all of the time. And then it does take a while. You're not going to just write your first letter and then boom, you suddenly wake up the next day feeling like all your dreams have come true. But it is a process, and if we continue, if we have discipline, dedication, if it's a constant, consistent effort, not trying to control, but genuinely just loving being alive and taking part in this journey, over time, it becomes cemented. Over time, that shift happens, right? Over time, that reprogramming becomes an accessible default. So as I said, writing a letter is a personal favourite of mine. I find using descriptive language helps me to define my emotions a little bit more. So as I'm writing, I'm getting more in that emotional space, etc. But essentially, the whole point of the letter is to show gratitude. You're saying thank you. It's a thank you letter to the universe. A thank you letter for everything that is. Then beyond that, a thank you for everything that you would like to manifest and attract as if it's already happened. Right, so this is where we're going to split it down into two sections, which we're going to talk about in a second. We're going to talk a little bit more about gratitude, though. I know you've heard 1,000 different things about it, but it is important and pertinent to this because we are writing a thank you letter. What is gratitude? Gratitude is showing appreciation for something. And of course, the most important times are to be grateful during negative experiences. Not grateful that the thing is happening. It's not about necessarily being grateful for loss. It's not about being grateful for negativity or toxicity or any of those things or whatever, but it's to be grateful for the thing that this is trying to show us, right? And in retrospect, when we find our way through, which most people do, when we find our way through, when we find our way beyond that darkness and the shadow and the hardship and whatever it is, we can look back and be grateful for the growth. We can look back and be grateful for the expansion and the evolution, for the wisdom that you've now gained, for the truth that set you free because of it. You can be grateful for that moment of elation when the problem is resolved or the situation is finally over, that weight off your shoulders and that breath of fresh air that you feel. You can be grateful for that. You don't always have to be grateful for just having good stuff. You don't always have to just be grateful because things are going good in your life. This is where we keep slipping up. And I think that's what, religion teaches and stuff, is the idea that heaven is not this attainable external. It's not external. Heaven is within us, as is hell. It's within us, and it's within our ability to take that within us and bring it out into the open to create a literal heaven on earth, which is, yes, going to mean people with different opinions. And it's going to mean, yes, people arguing and not liking each other. That doesn't mean it's not heaven on earth. It doesn't mean it can't be heaven on earth. And so gratitude is that feeling, that showing of appreciation of, I get to exist. I even just get to be here right now to see stuff happening. I get to exist in this body, and maybe I'm extra fortunate to be born in a healthy, functional body with a healthy, functional mind. Maybe I have that blessing too. Not everybody does. It's not about comparison, but if you do have that, then you have that, right? You do not always have to be grateful just because everything is perfect and the thing that you want is happening. Gratitude is about saying, not I have something or I have to do something, but I get to do it and I get to have it. I get to exist. I get to be alive. I get to try. I get to fail and make mistakes and try again and again. I get to experience contrast in this world. And yes, I get to experience negative things. The alternative is I don't. And that's what gratitude is. Gratitude is not saying I have or I have to. It's saying I get to. I get to have this. I get to do this. I get to be this, try this, become this, fail this and succeed at that. I get to make choice. I get to have favorites. And I get to dislike things. I get to think. I get to talk. I get to love. That's gratitude. So let's get into the practice of writing the letter. The way I like to do this is to split the letter into two parts. Roughly a paragraph or two for the first part, paragraph or two for the second part. Now before you start this, you can write a list if you want to. Sometimes it's helpful, it's really up to you. You can let it flow out of you. You can write down some intentions and some manifestations beforehand. It's entirely up to you, that part, okay? But the first part of the letter, the first paragraph, 2 paragraphs, are going to be focused on things that actually have happened and are in your life, right? So things like, for example, thank you, universe, for my health. I am so grateful that I have a loving family or friends or whatever. I am super grateful that my job is providing me with blah, 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 blah. Even if it's not everything that you want, we're not going to focus here. It's not about ignoring the negative or whatever, but it's about highlighting the fact that we are grateful right now, even though stuff hasn't necessarily happened and everything that we want. I am grateful for the opportunity to meet some new people. I am grateful for that last weekend where I got to do blah, blah, blah. I am grateful for the new series of such and such, which is my favorite show. Taskmaster is on today, you guys. That's my favorite. Actually, next to AGT. AGT and then Taskmaster, like right underneath. It doesn't have to be about the fact that you won the lottery. You don't have to be grateful just because the things you wanted happened. You didn't necessarily purposely intend to get up and out of bed this morning. You just do it. And that you can be grateful for. You don't sit here and think about thinking. You don't sit here and think about breathing. You don't sit here and tell your heart to beat. It just does it. Those are things you can be grateful for. And so the first part is about focusing on appreciating what already exists in your life. It's literally make it up if you want to write a list beforehand. It's entirely up to you how you do that, okay? And the second part of this letter, which you can probably figure out by now, is about things that you want to attract and things that you want to manifest. So things you want to bring into your life and things that you want to create out of yourself and into the world. And the aim of this part is to write as if it's already happened. And you can see why I do it this way, because the first paragraph or so, writing about being grateful and appreciating and the love that I have for things that already exist, I'm already in that. It's a lot easier for us to connect with things that currently exist, right? So we want to use that energy while we're in that prime space of actually feeling all of these things. You're right up there as if it's already happened. You are with things that have already happened, and now we're taking that already happened energy and applying it to things that haven't necessarily happened yet. So things like, I am so grateful for finally having my dream job and my dream career. I am so fulfilled that I finally have met the person of my dreams. I am so grateful and appreciative of the financial freedom and abundance that I attract into my life every single day, etc., etc. We're literally following on from that same energy, yeah? Things that have already happened and things that have already happened. And you want to focus, again, keep that emotion with you, write descriptively, stay in that high vibing space of I am so grateful, I am so happy, I am so content, abundant, peaceful, fulfilled, satisfied, etc. But it's entirely up to you. Be descriptive, be not descriptive. You can play with this part, you guys, right? The point is for you to be enjoying what you're doing. Your language is your language. The universe knows how to speak it, as we discussed in another video. That part's up to you. If you have the specifics, go ahead, write them down. If you're not sure, don't feel like you're going to get it wrong. This is about the vibrational space. The 3D will catch up later on. So let's just go over that one more time. You have part A, a paragraph or two. Thank you so much. I am so grateful for and I appreciate things that are in my life absolutely here right now. People, places, things, experiences, and yes, movies and foods and your favorite clothes and all that stuff too. That counts, okay? And then we're going to take that energy and to apply it to part B, to the second part, where we are using another paragraph or two to talk in the same manner as if it's already happened about things we wish to attract or manifest. But the energy doesn't know that, okay? We can know, the universe can know, everything else just falls into place. I love it. Okay, you guys, so real quick before we end this video and I send you guys away to write yours, I am going to read you guys mine. But I would recommend, just before I read it, I would recommend handwriting it. Like I said, you tend to remember things more if you're writing it by hand, okay? So I just bought a couple of my journals to show you as an example. I think I'm going to use this one as my scripting journal. I've been looking for a reason to use it. It's not important, but it is helpful for you to choose something that appeals to you, something that speaks to you. I like this one because it's hand-bound. I love this one. But then I also have ones like this. Here's a Marvel one. Here's a Big Hero 6. It's just something that means something to you. There's a reason I used this notebook. There's a reason that I'm writing in here right now. You want to feel that intention, that power. So yeah, you guys, I would recommend handwriting it, and I would also recommend finding yourself, you know, a special notebook or a special place maybe to write them, or if you write them on pieces of paper. I always fold mine up. Sometimes I put them in my pillow. Sometimes I put them in my self-development folder. Sometimes I put them in a special box. You can kind of make that part up. It's just got to mean something to you. That's all it is. There's no right or wrong. It's just got to mean something to you. So I'm going to go ahead and read my letter. I do have like a page and a half, which I would kind of recommend. Again, it really depends on who you are. I am just a descriptive person and I love writing, so I kind of make the most of it. Dear Universe, I want to start by expressing my deepest gratitude for everything I get to have in this life. Thank you for allowing me to wake up every day as my authentic self, fully embracing who I am and the path I'm on. There is nothing more I love on this earth than being me. I'm grateful for the progress I see in my daily creative career. It's so rewarding to witness the impact I'm making through my content and to know that I'm touching lives in meaningful ways, not to mention how much fun I have every single moment I'm doing it. I have so much fun making the videos, you guys. I feel like I'm finally getting out all this stored up and restricted creative energy I've had since I was a child. I also want to thank you for the constant stream of incredible music that fills my world. I'd love for more and more of that. I can't stop myself from dancing all the time. I just find the best music, okay? I'm endlessly grateful for my YouTube channels and the growth I witness every single day. It's amazing to see this journey unfold, and I truly feel like not only am I finding my stride, but I'm also seeing the results and the rewards of years of effort, passion, and determination. So true. My life is rich with love, support, and amazing friendships. I'm meeting people that align with my personality, who understand me at a deeper level, and who are walking the same path as me. I'm not an alien, except I am, and I'm loving finding my fellow aliens. Hi guys! We're not actually aliens, okay? But we're just people who don't fit in, okay? And I love it. I'm surrounded by people who uplift and inspire me, and I couldn't be more thankful for being able to exist at the same time as these incredible, loving souls. I'm so grateful for the financial abundance that supports me, knowing I have everything I need to live comfortably and happily, even though I'm literally only beginning my financial journey at this later age. You provide me with everything I need, and often without me even needing the money to get it. How do you do that? Thank you, universe, for guiding me to 10,000 subscribers and followers across my social and creative channels. It feels amazing to have reached this milestone and to have monetized my channels, turning my passion into a thriving source of income. I cannot find words to describe the elation and fulfillment I experience almost every single moment of every single day because I have created this reality of being my own source of income. You have helped me realize my ultimate dream. I get to make money simply by being myself. That which I love to do the most has become my ultimate purpose, and I absolutely thrive knowing I'm inspiring others to learn and experience the beauty and joy of loving oneself. I am also so grateful for the freedom and flexibility I now have to travel to and from the US whenever I choose, enriching my life with new experiences and opportunities and allowing me to grow closer to the country I love more than any other on this planet. Every travel opportunity opens my eyes to the wonder, beauty, and the contrast of this world. Thank you for the increasing flow of money coming to and through me, supporting not only my needs, but also allowing me to live with greater freedom, sharing my wealth and abundance with others whose lives I know I can impact. I'm grateful for my ideal apartment, complete with a dedicated studio space where I can continue to create and grow. My home is specifically designed for me, as if you had this in mind all along. You could not have led me to a more aligned and perfect place for me to set myself up for years and years to come. My studio allows me to expand my creative work, focus more diligently, and create more in order to impact and inspire people. It contributes to my chosen purpose in a way that I'd never considered before. And finally, thank you for helping me reach more and more fans through what I do. It's incredible to see my career expanding and touching even more lives. I can see how each little thing, brick if you will, has added to the final structure, and how each piece was necessary to fall exactly into place in order for me to get right here, where I am. I would not change a single thing. I infinitely trust in the path because it led me right here, and I know this is just the beginning. The beginning of the empire I will build, the beginning of my existence as nothing other than my truest, purest, and most authentic self. The greatest blessing of all. Thank you for my life. I love you so much. Topher. And there you have it, you guys. That's scripting. Yeah? Now you can do this as many times as you want to. Once a day, if you want to do it. Once a week. Turn it into a ritual. Maybe you do it once a month. You do it each new full moon. You get to make this up based on what you feel. And you are allowed to change your mind. If you want to do it more because you love doing it. If you don't have time, then reduce it down. You can change your mind. You can adapt. You can be flexible here. There is no strict set structure. Right? Like, that's the ideal game here. All of this is just to help us get into the energetic vibrational space. But this one is one of the most fun. Alongside visualization, which is just that one that comes so naturally and so easily to me. This one is a little bit more practical and brings sort of my emotion out of me in some kind of physical way that is tangible. Right? I could see it, I could read it, I could hold it in my hand. And that's kind of like another level. We're adding like another level of that, of vibrational energy there, right? So it's up to you. Mix and match, you guys. Visualize, add in scripting once a week and see what happens. You get into a visualization schedule 3 times a week maybe, and then the end of the month you write a letter for everything that you're thankful for that happened in the previous weeks. So there you have it, you guys. Scripting in sort of a nutshell. It's not really a nutshell, but that's how I do it. It's how I love to do it. I hope you guys kind of got some insight, especially with the example as well. And I think you guys are really going to see how writing helps us to connect with our emotions, especially when we're being quite descriptive with it. Yeah, especially when we read it out to ourselves. Write the letter down, read it out to yourself, read it out to a trusted someone or other, your cat, or a bird if you have one. Read it to the sky, read it out to the universe, whatever. It really does help you get into that emotional space and stuff, right? So have a go with it, have fun with it. Yeah, let me know how these go as well. I would love to hear what you guys are manifesting and stuff. If you have any kinds of questions or anything, then write it down below in the comments section, obviously. Next week, we're going to be having a look at the third tool of your practical manifestation, which is vision boards. This one is a little bit more, I would say, fun in the sense that it's arts and crafts. Who doesn't love a little bit of arts and crafts? Some people might not, but I love it anyway. So we're going to do some of that. We're going to be talking about using pictures and slogans and even things like affirmations. Affirmations is going to have its own separate video as well, but we are going to cover it a little bit in vision boards because it's just fun. And we will be making one as well, which I will be doing a whole video for over the next week and stuff, so you guys can see how I do mine. I'm a huge nerd, so don't expect it to be all like prissy. No offense to other people who do this, but I look at other people's and I'm like, oh my gosh, it looks like a Pinterest board. I absolutely love it, but that's not how I would do mine. I would do mine like a comic book poster. You gotta do it in your language. Yeah? And I don't mean your national language. I mean your personal soul language. Okay? And if that is being a massive child, then so be it. Who gives a crap, right? The universe loves it. I love it. Let's go. So that's going to be next week, you guys. I'm really looking forward to it. That's going to be a fun one. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. Make sure you check out all the other videos on the channel. The playlist is going to be linked down below. We have like, I don't know, 10 videos in there. Way more than 10, actually. So there's a lot for you to catch up on if you're just arriving here now. Make sure you hit subscribe and the notifications so that you are informed. You are the first to know when the next video comes out. And for those of you who are my TikTok fam, I love you so much. Thank you for being here. I will see you over there in a matter of days. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Don't forget to go and check out my other channel as well, you guys, the World of Filara, which is also going to be linked down below because that's where I do a lot of fun stuff. That's my comedy personal channel, where I literally am just having so much fun making the stupidest shorts, making the stupidest videos, watching the hilariousest of American commercials, watching my favorite childhood cartoons. Come hang over there. After we've done the serious work, it's fun to hang out and just have a nice, chill, fun time. We're going to balance the contrast, you guys. Yeah, we're going to balance in the world, but not of the world. I love you guys so much. Have a great weekend, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.